Okay, I've been trying to settle this camera for the past 15 minutes. My tripod broke. I am sweating because it's so hot in London and I'm just about to have like a MTV. But I promised myself I was gonna come back and I am back. Let's catch up. As like many of my videos, I haven't really planned this one because I wanted it to be a little bit of a chat. If you have been following me for a while and you have been in this lovely little corner of the internet, you probably know already what has been happening in my life, especially if you follow me on TikTok and Instagram, where I share like more kind of like weekly and daily updates. But just in case you're not, I haven't been in front of a camera like this. I have been recording lots of short form, but for some reason those kind of like are different for me. But I haven't been in front of a camera like this for like a long time. I am feeling really conflicted about coming back to like long form YouTube because I am not sure that I have the right energy for it. So last year I got really ill, I lost my job, I lost my flat, and the 7 months after that were absolute hell. There is no other way to explain it. I really struggled to kind of like piece everything together. Everything got too much, and I am not someone who is very good at like showing the process. If you have like watched any of my career videos, you know that I shared my advice with you once I had already achieved the things that I was trying to share. So I got into publishing and therefore I could tell you how I made it there. I managed to figure out a way to write really good, quick and amazing CVs and cover letters. So I showed you how to do that. So when I found myself in this like a really crazy whirlwind of like honestly just bad luck and life stuff happening to me all in one go, I did not feel like I had anything valuable to share with you. I kind of want to take a moment to reflect on how as a collective we see value. So I personally only saw value in myself when I was like helping others. And although this is like, I think like a really good positive thing and I want to continue to share things that are valuable to others, that really was something that unfortunately broke me when it came to losing everything that made me able to share that value with people. Because the fact that I thought that was the only value I had in the world meant that the moment that I couldn't share anything with others because I was too tired and I needed to rest and I need to step away, I genuinely felt like I was worthless. Why do I always cry? I need to stop crying on the internet. This is not a good thing. Anyhow, just quickly pulling myself together. With all that said, I have been really struggling to kind of like come back to myself. So the last few months, I have barely uploaded anything. The times that I managed to upload something were things that honestly, I just didn't put my heart in it because I knew that that was not the best version of me. That was not the kind of energy that I wanted to come back to you with. And I'm not even saying that this is the kind of energy that I wanted to come back to you with, but I guess I realized that it's really gonna take a long time for me to get back on track, whatever that means, and to get back to that dream life that I had built with years and years of sacrifices. And I want to take this as an opportunity to let go of that idea that if I haven't made it yet, then I should not tell my story. That if I haven't made it yet, my story isn't valuable. And the kind of like feeling that no one cares about me. When I'm saying these things, I'm realizing that not everyone shares their life online. And so, yes, of course, there is an element of, you know, strangers don't necessarily care about every single person that they meet. But there is also something that I truly believe, which is that every single person has a story to share. Whether they know what that story is or if they are like experiencing things that is going to lead them to finding out, each and every one of us has got something unique that if you do want to share can make an impact. And kind of just like realizing that maybe the impact, it's not necessarily just in the results and the achievements, but also in the simple act of opening up to people and showing what it actually looks like when things don't go according to plan, it's kind of like bringing me a little bit of comfort. So let me give you an update now on what has actually been happening. Because if you haven't been following me on other socials, chances are that you have no idea what's been going on and where's my head at and like what actually I'm gonna be sharing with you going forward. 5 months ago, we moved into our beautiful new flat, and that was like all of the things that I had ever dreamed of. Really struggled to find this flat because there is currently a rental crisis, which unfortunately is still going. So it took us about like 6-7 months to find a place to rent in London. And the reason why we are in London is because of my partner's job, which is based here. Basically, the house was like the first thing that I really just like realized I needed to focus on. When everything happened last year, I was scrambling to try and build my business, recover my mental health, find a new flat, doing lots of things. And I realized that you kind of have to just like take things step by step, and you've just got to cover your basic needs first before you can go on and like build on those to create your dream life. So that's exactly what I did. Once we had the flat, we had to actually wait a few months before we could move in. So that was like kind of annoying because I really was ready to just like start a new chapter. But at the end of January, we moved in. I'm gonna tag like here my moving vlog because I did document that. So in case you've missed it, you can go and like check it out and you can see like little glimpse of the flat as well. Moving here was like the best thing ever because once that was done, I felt like I was moving in the right direction, and I felt like at least some stability was brought back into my life. However, as you will know, if you have moved or if you are planning to move, it's so time consuming. And so actually up until this point, we had so many things to still do to the flat and in the flat to be able to make it our home. So that has been quite a process. And I often find myself being very unrealistic about the timelines of things. So I always think that things can be done like quicker. So I'm extremely ambitious, which I guess is the positive way of looking at that. But then it kind of borders on unrealistic, and that unfortunately creates overwhelm in my life. So I am kind of becoming more aware of that, and I'm trying to figure out a way to manage that. But essentially, it took us until now to figure out everything around the flat, and there's still so much to do, but we're thankful that we are going to hopefully be staying here for a couple of years, so we have time. Whilst all of that was happening, unfortunately, life doesn't really stop because you're having a hard time, and a lot of other things have happened which are a bit personal and I'll probably touch on later on. But at the moment, I just want to share that unfortunately part of the journey to going back to having good mental health is doing a lot of like work to understand what are the things that are triggering your bad mental health, what are the situations or environment that might be toxic for you, and what are the coping mechanisms that you can create to build a more serene and calm life. And whilst you're trying to do that, there is a lot of like opening old wounds and like reliving past experiences that can be extremely triggering. And on top of that, when then life serves you all of the things that happen to all of us, things can get really tough. So the past few months I have spent reconnecting with myself and really trying to get to know myself. And I've discovered some really interesting things because and last year I had my 2 months depressive episode. One of the things that the doctor said is that it was probably caused by complex PTSD. So in the last few months I have started therapy again, and I am working through things to try and move past this, but obviously it's something that is going to take a long time. And I really want to be talking about this more. So again, if you have any questions, I'd be very happy to kind of like do a Q&A or share more of my experience, because I genuinely had never heard of complex PTSD. And when that was diagnosed to me, so much of my life and my experiences and the things that I was going through started making a lot of sense. And as always, when these things happen, sometimes you get a bit relieved and sometimes you just get a bit like, oh goodness, I've got to like look into this and there's more to it. But giving a name to something that you have been struggling and battling with for the longest time is actually a really important step. So I was very lucky to being able to start my journey this year. I found a wonderful therapist and we are currently going through a lot of stuff. So there's a lot of pain that I'm moving through and a lot of things that honestly I just wish I could forget, but forgetting them is basically impossible and they need to be processed. So alongside the nesting and the healing, there's also been some news around my career. And I have decided to go full out as a freelancer last year. And honestly, I haven't really had the chance to work things through because of everything that happened. So these past few months have been the first time that I have actually been able to look into building my business, what I want it to be and what I want it to look like. However, because of everything that I'm still going through, there is an element of me that doesn't want to like solidify plans until I have fully gone back to myself. And I know that this is so close and I can feel it happening, but I just like kind of want to wait before I make the big decision of what my business is going to be like. Because I think there is also a lot of benefit from experimenting. So at the moment, I am being a freelance content creator for brands and also for publishing houses, which is actually very fun and really cool. I am not gonna lie, it hasn't been the easiest to find clients. I think there is quite a few people in publishing that offer these type of services, and so obviously me being new to the kind of scene hasn't really helped, but I'm hoping to be able to strengthen my relationships and my roster of clients. So stay tuned because I will be definitely doing videos on going freelance, all of the things that I'm learning, my career as a content creator, and all of that kind of stuff. And all of that leads us to today. So that is kind of what's been going on. And I honestly just wanted to give you an update. I wanted to talk to you to tell you that I'm still here, that I'm coming back, that I'm hoping to be able to bring to you something that is valuable both for you and for myself. I also want to say that if you're going through a season of life that is particularly hard, you're not alone. There is so much happening in the world, but even when there wasn't as much happening in the world, people are always going through different seasons. And I wish someone had told me how valuable just being able to tell people around you that you're struggling is. I have always been someone extremely private, despite the career that I'm choosing to build right now. And I wish I had been honest about how much I was struggling to the people close to me. It's very difficult for others to give you support and to create an environment that can help you heal if they don't know that you need that. But it's also very important that you recognize if you have around you situations, environments, or people who are toxic to you and who are not helping your personal journey and mental health journey. I honestly had to look at myself and my life and make a decision on some of the things that were hurting me because I wasn't willing to let go of them. I have genuinely been so grateful to every single one of you who has stuck around during this painful time and has waited for me to be ready to come back to do videos and to share my life and my experience. So if you're still watching and you have stuck around, thank you so much. I will see you soon with the first video of this new season of life. And remember, we can absolutely do hard things and we deserve all of the happiness and love.